You know, sometimes a single quiet painting can hold an entire world of meaning. Today, we're going to dive deep into one such masterpiece by the Spanish artist Francisco de Zurbarán to really understand its surprising and, well, its lasting power. And here it is, just a solitary figure emerging from almost total darkness. Go ahead, take a moment, just look. Feel the mood, the deep, deep shadows, and the intense focus of this one man. It's really a highly dramatic moment of contemplation, isn't it? So that's really our big question, right? This portrait seems so simple on the surface, but it carries this incredible emotional and, theological weight. How in the world does the artist pull that off? Well, let's break it down piece by piece. Okay, first things first, to get the painting, we have to get the man. Who is this figure and what's the deal with what he's wearing? So, looking at the painting again, you start to see how every single element is designed to tell us something about this man, St. Francis, and his whole spiritual life. So here's a little backstory. St. Francis of Assisi wasn't born into poverty, not at all. He was the son of a really wealthy merchant who made this radical choice to renounce everything. He founded the Franciscan order, which was dedicated to serving the poor and imitating Christ. He was also a mystic who, late in his life, was even said to have received the stigmata, the actual wounds of Christ. And that robe he's wearing? It's absolutely key. See that tall, pointed hood? That identifies it as a Capuchin habit. Now, the Capuchins were a reform branch of the Franciscans who were seeking an even stricter, more austere life. So the robe itself isn't just clothing, it's a powerful symbol, a sign of poverty and consecration to God. And this is where Zurbarán's genius just shines. He translates this abstract idea into a physical sensation. Just look at that fabric. It looks heavy, coarse, almost like it's carved out of stone. The painting seems to suggest that grace isn't some light, airy feeling. No, it's something that has weight, something that actually presses into the body. You can almost feel it. All right, now let's shift our focus. We've looked at the robe, but what about the object he's holding so carefully in his hands? Notice his hands, see how they're clasped? It's not in fear, it's almost protective, wrapped around a human skull. This is the second major symbol we need to unpack in this work. Now, to understand the skull, you need to know this term, memento mori. It's a Latin phrase, and it means remember you must die. In art history, you see objects like skulls all the time. They were common symbols used to remind the viewer, hey, you're mortal too. But for St. Francis, this is so much more than just a general reminder of death. It's a tool, a focus for meditation on Christ's suffering. It represents a full, complete acceptance of mortality. And notice how the same light hits his face and the skull? It visually links life and death, flesh and bone, all held together in this single silent prayer. So the posture here is absolutely crucial. See how his head is bowed, his mouth just slightly tightened in concentration. He isn't recoiling in terror from death, not at all. He is gathering it up, holding it close, and confronting it as a reality to be faced and offered up to God. Okay, so we've looked at the symbols, but what about the art itself? How did the artist, Francisco de Zurbarán, use paint, light, and shadow to create this incredibly profound feeling? If we look at it again, but this time with an artist's eye, you can see that the technique is every bit as important as the subject. This intense play of light and shadow, well, that's the engine that drives the whole painting. So who was this guy, Zurbarán? Well, he was a major Spanish Baroque artist working in 17th century Seville. And at the time, Seville was what they called a convent city, just saturated with religious art. Zurbarán basically became the go-to painter for all the powerful religious orders, creating these works that were meant to inspire deep personal devotion. And his signature style? It's called tenebrism. It's this extreme version of light and dark contrast where deep, enveloping shadow just dominates the whole scene. Seriously, think of it like a single spotlight on a totally dark stage. But here's the thing. Unlike a lot of artists who use this style for big dramatic action scenes, Zurbarán turns the drama inward. The light isn't showing us a battle, it's isolating the most important theological elements, the face turned toward God, the habit that represents poverty, and the skull symbolizing mortality. Everything else, it just melts away into the darkness. So what happens when we put it all together? The man, the symbols, the artistic technique? Well, they all combine to reveal a really profound message that I think still resonates today. Ultimately, this painting becomes this powerful meditation on how grace can be found, not by escaping our limits, but by moving through them. You see, the painting's power really comes from what it doesn't do. The composition is super tight and narrow. The color palette is incredibly restricted. It's mostly just browns and blacks. And the saint's gesture, it's so simple and contained. He just stands there, holds the skull, and prays. And this gets to the core message, and wow, what a challenge it is to our modern world. In a culture that's constantly telling us to optimize everything, to buy our way out of discomfort, to endlessly distract ourselves from the reality of death, this painting proposes the exact opposite. It suggests we should descend into those things. Because as Zurbarán shows us so beautifully, if you actually do that, you might just discover that the light isn't something you have to go out and find somewhere else. It's already there, waiting for you in the darkness, just ready to be noticed. And so we're left with this question to think about. In our own lives, which are so often focused on avoiding discomfort and difficulty, what can we learn from a 400-year-old image of someone who willingly and peacefully steps right into it?